G'day, g'day, g'day. That's what the Australians say. They say, g'day, mate. You might have watched one of these Australian Crocodile Dundee kind of films. I say greetings, but Australians say g'day. And I am Australian, but I live in New Zealand now. Just thought you may like to know that. Now, I've got a question here which I've been asked every now and then, and I don't think I've ever covered this one in any of my videos, so I'm going to cover it today. Eric, do you recommend exercise as part of the Candida-free lifestyle? So this video is not entitled that. This one's more about the 8 tips, or maybe even 9 or 10, or God knows how many more I'll give. 8 tips on exercising for those with Candida yeast infection. So as you're aware, I've seen a lot of people over the years with different types of yeast infections. And one thing's become apparent, many people exercise. So if you're not exercising, and especially if you're an old bugger like me, if you're like 50 plus, it's time to get off your butt and to do something about it. Okay? You've got to keep moving your body. It's a very important thing to do for many different reasons. I've heard it once said that a 5-mile hike for someone who has a bit of anxiety or stress is better than all the medicines and psychologists in the world. Just going for a good walk really makes you feel good. You want to try it one day, okay? Not that you're anxious watching this, but you know, it will make you feel a lot better. And every day walking has a very, very cumulative benefit long term. Now I've got my book open in front of me on my screen. I'm going to read out a couple of different tips which I've written down, and I'll just give you some commentary on those. So exercise heats the body up. So it's important to remember that. So now when you've got a problem like jock itch or vaginal infection, or you could have like a seborrheic dermatitis or psoriasis or some kind of skin kind of a fungal infection or eczema dermatitis, it's not really pleasant exercising because of the heat. So you need to take that into account. And the important thing is you need to learn how to cool down properly after exercise so as not to really aggravate these conditions. So point 1, those with a vaginal yeast infection need to take extra care and shower immediately and wear cotton undergarments. Okay. Same thing with jock itch. If you've got jock itch or vaginal infection, keep pubic hair shorter rather than longer, okay? Because the hair traps the heat close to the body and it can really keep infections and itching going for a lot longer. So that's a very valid point for you to take. Is trim hair, dry the body hair properly after that. Point number 2, cool the body down gradually after exercise by having a tepid then cool shower. So this will stop your body from maintaining heat for a long period of time. Okay, like today's quite a warm day now. It must be about 90 degrees outside. So you can see I've got perspiration on my face. I'm not a person who likes air conditioning units. I've got a fan here and I've got windows open. But if you let's just say I had jock itch right now, or I had some yeast problems on my body, it would be something to get a bit uncomfortable now for me, and it could be itching later on, especially in bed tonight. So a cool shower would be well in order, cooling the body down. The peripheral temperature, if it's too hot, can really aggravate a yeast infection, and it also can cause disturbed sleep, which can incur adrenal problems and poor immunity, and just keep that whole cycle going of yeast problems. Okay. Point 3, avoid having saunas if you've got chronic yeast infection. Okay. Heating your body up way too much can really aggravate this in particular. Right? I found that sauna frequently aggravates those with chronic yeast infections, and some just feel worse and they experience headaches, dizziness, and can really flare up the skin or gut types of complaints. So just be careful there. Point 4, those with athlete's foot or toenail fungus, okay, need to really keep their feet and toes dry regularly. So make sure that you have a shower or a bath after tennis or sport, or if you're doing track and field or football or any kind of activity you're involved in. Clean yourself down. Use tea tree oil soap. Okay, Australian tea tree oil soap. It's a really good stuff. And then, and again, dry your body thoroughly, especially between your toes. If you're going to be having showers in gym rooms or places like that, just take a pair of flip-flops with you. See what they call them in America, flip-flops? I don't know what you guys call them, sandals or those sort of like rubber things. We call them thongs in Australia. I'm going to tell you the funny story that when I went to the States, and my first experience in America a long time ago, and I was talking to a colleague, a naturopath, I think it was in Seattle, and he said, "Man, it must get hot where you guys are." I said, "Yeah, it's really hot." I said, "We all wear thongs over there, it's so hot." He said, "Get out of here." I said, "No," I said, "I wear thongs all the time. All the time. Most of the year I wear thongs." I wear thongs, not when I'm working, obviously, I said to him, but I wear thongs if I go shopping or if I'm in the yard. I wear thongs all the time. And the guy burst out laughing. He said, "You're crazy, man. You can't wear thongs here all the time. You get locked up." And I said, "Well, what the hell are you talking about?" And all his friends burst out laughing, and I pointed at my feet. And then I realised that he meant one of those things that go right up your body that boxers wear or something, guys who go boxing. And I just cracked up at that stage. I thought, what a joke, It shows you the cultural differences, right? So, point I'm making is keep your feet a little bit above the surface if you're worried about athlete's foot, or fungal conditions in showers or locker rooms, because it can be a problem. So just put a pair of those rubber thongs in a plastic bag, a grocery bag, take them with you, and then wear them in those kind of environments. And again, wash your feet really well with a tea tree oil-based product. You can even get tea tree oil powders, which you can sometimes dust around your feet, and that can help as well. And put a couple of drops of tea tree oil in your shoe, 2 to 3 drops a week, because that will emanate the vapor around it and kill fungus in your shoe. So, tip number 5. We talked about jock itch before. Guys with jock itch should shower immediately after any exercise, dry themselves carefully and thoroughly, and wear 100% cotton undergarments. If you've got jock itch and you do sport, you shower 3 times per day. When you get up, after the sport, and before bed. That's going to go a long way towards slowing your jock itch right down, okay? Many guys I talk with don't do that. They may shower once per day, and especially relevant for mechanics or guys that wear those coveralls all the time. They can sweat quite a lot. Point 6, don't use antiperspirants. You don't want to block the flow of perspiration, especially the ones with aluminum in them that really block the sweat pores, okay? I like a product called Aubrey Organics, and there's Jason, and there's, I think, there's the Burt's Bees. There's many other brands out there that make really good 100% certified organic underarm products. I use a nice pine one from Aubrey and just put a few sprays under there. It smells good. Can you smell it? It's a really nice pine kind of smell. It's not offensive at all, and I know that it's a natural product. So let's have a look. Point 7. This is a good one. Don't fall into the trap of replenishing your body with those carbohydrate drinks like Gatorade, okay? If you run or cycle, many people drink energy drinks, soda drinks, or those fancy sports drinks that contain high amounts of refined carbs. So now you're not going to burn it off with exercise. You're pumping all that sugar into your bloodstream. You're going to aggravate Candida. So be careful, be careful, be careful, okay? You're better off taking a product, a multi-mineral or a vitamin tablet with a lot of minerals in it. Check out my CanXida Rebuilds product, for example. It's got a lot of trace elements and minerals in it. There's no sugar in that product. And it just drank plenty of water, okay? That's all you need. And point 8, of course, we just touched on that. Keep well hydrated. Drink lots and lots of water. It's a really good way to keep your liver and kidneys in great shape. Okay, so water is the big one. You can't fight yeast infections on a body that's suffering from dehydration. So those are some good tips for you if you've got yeast problems and you want to exercise. Don't exercise excessively if you've got adrenal fatigue. Okay, if you suffer from sleeping problems and you can relate to adrenal fatigue, which I would have spoken about in some of my videos, I really don't want you to go crazy hard out with cardio exercises, like pump classes and running and cycling excessively, especially if your recovery is poor, because you're going to put yourself right on the back foot of recovery from a Candida problem if you do that. So don't do it. And that's the end of my video. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it.